r/DeadBedrooms. West Compot 4973 says, how do I stop wanting my low libido husband? Too long, didn't read, my hubby, LLM, and I, HLF, both in our 20s, got married last fall, and have massively different libidos /partly/ because of his sertraline use. I don't want him anymore. I love my husband. Like many of you here, our relationship is amazing. He's supportive, easygoing, super handsy and loving. Even our problems are nothing issues that are fixed by a quick friendly chat or an easy solution. Except sex. We have sex 1 or 2 times a month, sometimes even that feels like duty sex on his part. I'd be very happy with every day or every other day, even a few times a week, but no, that's not good for him and could compromise it maybe once a week. It wasn't like this until we started living together. We've talked about sex frequency ad nauseam. Nothing ever changes. He doesn't want to speak to a doctor about supplements or to change his meds, and I 100% get that. I tested my T levels as part of exploring what medication might numb my sex drive, and he was so upset about me exploring that path. We had sex once a week for 3 weeks or so, which was amazing, but now it's been a month again, and he masturbated the other day, so won't want to for a while. I don't want him to say yes when he doesn't want to. Never, ever, ever would I do that to someone. I know I'm fully leaning into the whole irrational woman thing here, but I just want him to want me the way I want him. Even if I lost my sex drive, I'm sure I'd miss his body, his touch. He just doesn't feel the same way. Sometimes I think he's just LL 4 meters. He has hentai galore, hentai games included, and talks online about how he def /ck all these fictional female characters, and why he finds them so irresistible. All 4 features I don't have and wish I did. It really stings. He compliments me all the time, and says I'm sexy, and that he wants me, but with the whole picture this paints, I don't believe him. Him touching me and groping me is starting to feel like cruel teasing, even if it really isn't. I hate feeling like this. I'm not pretty by nature, but I'm not ugly either. I could be doing more, but I exercise almost every day, think I'm physically fit, and have been doing recomp fairly successfully. I dress up and wear makeup. It used to attract him, but it doesn't anymore. Neither does cosplay, lingerie, initiating, a turn on for him, being coy, being naked, nothing. I don't expect sex in exchange for certain behaviors, but it just feels like all my efforts are pointless. He doesn't understand how often he turns me down, and once during a period of trying to be more sexually dominant, which he says he likes, he said I was making him feel like a sex object for initiating so much. Shot down every single time. Maybe I was doing it wrong? I didn't think so, but a few months ago during talk number, I told him some of the above, saying I don't want to initiate anymore. When he seemed into it, I have once or twice since, but it's always no. He is always baffled. He just doesn't have an awareness of how often he says no, or what this is doing to our relationship. He seems to think it's just a physical urge, like hunger, in a vacuum, not tied to physical intimacy. He doesn't seem to really enjoy non-pit stuff either. He doesn't hate it, but there's no passion in it either, and he doesn't want to be sexually touched at all if he's trying to get me off. He just looks blank. If the choice is between him forcing himself to get me off because he feels bad in me masturbating alone, I'll take being alone. But he also gets upset when I do choose to do it alone and doesn't want me to use penetrative sex toys. I get it, especially with men, there's an unfair expectation that they're the high libido and it's all fine and dandy, big strong man woo-woo-ah. It clearly makes him feel bad, and he'll sometimes apologize unprompted. Which he doesn't need to do, his drive is the way it is, I can take it or leave it. He feels guilty, but it's still always later, not now, no thank you. We are both suffering and nothing is changing. I'm tired of sneaking off to the bathroom to cry. I'm tired of hating myself the way I did as an anorexic teenage mess, and I hate being jealous of F/King cartoons like some absolute loser. Those of you HLS who have lost attraction, what caused it? This dead bedroom is going nowhere. I want to stop wanting my BM8722 says. It's not irrational in any way for you to want him to want you. His hentai issue is honestly a red flag. Have you told him how that makes you feel? Your desires are completely valid, and if he isn't willing to take steps to meet you halfway, you may need to make a decision. This 100% is not fair to you in any way, and he needs to own that. He could probably benefit from individual therapy, and maybe together you can try couples counseling. A dense 7020 says. I was in very similar circumstances and has only gotten worse over the years. Now it's been years since we've had sex and we can't even talk about it. I go through periods of not wanting him, but that is miserable in its own way. Everything he does makes me angry/annoyed during these times. It took me about 10 years to get to this point and 4 years without intimacy. Do you want to invest that much time only to numb a crucial part of yourself? If I was younger and didn't have kids, I would not stay in this relationship. Fiji 37062 says. He can say what he wants, but his hentai addiction is causing issues. If he's not willing to change his frequency and enthusiasm in the bedroom, you 100% can satisfy yourself however you want. He doesn't get to decide that for you. Essentially he's saying you don't get good sex with me, and you don't get it on your own either, but I can. I don't buy that he's not jacking off often to the hentai either. He's doing it more often than you think, just not letting you know about it. Milled Lion-Oyed Owl says. If you're looking for ways to reduce sexual interest in your partner, which I have needed to do for the sake of my own sanity while navigating a dead bedroom, here are some things that worked for me. 1. Stop trying to appeal to your partner sexually. I used to make a conscious effort to wear makeup every day, put on clothes that my husband liked, and wear lacy underwear in case he wanted to try something spontaneous. I realized that by putting in all this effort I was engaging in a type of foreplay and unintentionally turning myself on. My sex drive went way down once I stopped expending time/effort thinking about and then implementing ways to seduce my husband. 2. Be honest with yourself about your sex life. Correct me if I'm wrong, but it sounds like the sex itself isn't great. That your partner treats sex like the scratching of an itch, isn't passionate about non-PIV activities, and just goes blank while getting you off. Have you considered how strange it is that you crave bad sex? Sex with my husband is pretty bad too, though in different ways. Whenever I feel horny or my partner initiates sex, I now picture in my head what the sex was actually like the last 5 times we had it, rather than some contrived fantasy about what I wish the sex was like, and that is usually enough of a turn off to calm me down. 3. Stop initiating. If you put a rat in a room with a lever that randomly dispenses treats, it will literally drive the rat insane. The rat will start obsessing over the lever, trying old behaviors that worked previously, trying new behaviors and overanalyzing the results, pulling the lever constantly. Instead of, recognizing that the dispensation of treats is totally random. Being in high libido is like being that rat. You have to break the cycle of hope or you will drive yourself insane trying to figure out how to fix the dead bedroom. The best way to do that is to stop pulling the damn lever, ignore it. Pretend it doesn't exist. Stop initiating. 4. Develop a sexual relationship with yourself. If you develop a solid sexual relationship with yourself, it will help retrain your brain to look towards yourself for sexual fulfillment rather than a partner. Get lots of sex toys, find porn you enjoy, read/write erotica. The options are near endless. If you previously treated masturbation as a stopgap for real sex, quit that right now. Masturbation is an end in itself and should be treated as such. You should be using masturbation as an opportunity to show love and care for yourself. Draw yourself a long luxurious bath with lots of foreplay, treat yourself to an elaborate roller play with lots of fun toys, develop a harem of imaginary lovers, etc. 5. If you have codependency issues, work on that. Make sure you develop friendships outside of your partner, spend time on hobbies only you enjoy, and get out of the house regularly for solo or friend-sponsored adventures. Human beings are social animals. We need to interact with others in order to experience fulfillment. And we feel a more desperate need to connect with our partner when we aren't getting any of our social needs met outside of them. By finding friends and doing things you love solo, you can get your need for connection met in other ways and sex won't be as pressing. An overconfident dude says, I tested my T levels as part of exploring what medication might numb my sex drive, and he was so upset about me exploring that path. This comment jumped out at me as many high libido spouses often consider ways to tamp down their libidos. Yet low libido spouses sometimes report getting very upset at this idea. In my marriage this played out before I even realized what was happening. I, HLM, had been to my primary care doctor and my wife, LLF, went to pick up a prescription that had been called in for me. She was reading the potential side effects, of which one was known to cause erectile dysfunction. She was so upset about it that she would not allow me to take any, made me fire my doctor, and found me another primary care provider. This was the response of my low libido partner that complains that I ask for too much sex. Here is my theory: low libido spouses sometimes report feeling inadequate. So something that would make pleasing a partner more difficult or likely to fail would be seen as making things even more problematic. I don't know, that is just my theory. That's all for this video. Thank you for watching. Please subscribe.